Good morning, Team Alabama. We are going to talk today about some expository writing that we are going to do, and our topic area is on ocean debris. And I will kind of explain how we do this, and we'll read the articles together, and then I'll help you set your paper up. So your assignment, now that you have completed research on the topic of humans' negative impact on ocean life, the Journalism Club advisor has asked you to write an explanatory article about humans' negative impact on ocean life for the next issue of the school newspaper. So that's your audience. The audience for your article will be other students, teachers, and parents. So you're going to write it like a letter or write it like an article. Okay, so using more than one source, and we have two here, so you'll quote those sources, 2 quotes from each source. Develop a thesis and controlling idea to explain humans' impact on ocean life. And as we're reading these, I want you to jot down 4 negative ways that humans impact ocean life, so that you can go back and use those quotes later on. So as we read, you're looking for 4 ways that humans negatively impact ocean life. Once you have a thesis and controlling idea, select the most relevant information from more than one source to support these thesis controlling ideas. Then write a multi-paragraph explanatory article explaining your thesis and controlling ideas. Your report or essay will be 6 paragraphs, and you're going to come up with those 4 ways that humans negatively impact. If you need to do more research after we read these 2 articles, that is totally fine. But at least these 2 articles we're going to read together. And then if you need to do more, that's fine. Clearly organize your article and elaborate your ideas. Unless quoting directly from the source, use your own words. Be sure to reference the source or title and the number when quoting or paraphrasing details and facts from your sources. Okay, the first article we are going to read is Monster Debris, and you will find that on your Chromebook. Please read along with me. Monster Debris. Okay, this is source 1. In 1991, scientists in Hawaii found a 4,000-pound monster in the sea. Driving up to it in a small boat, it looked very much like a barely emergent sand islet or reef. Remembers Dr. Mary Donahue, one of the team of scientists who eventually captured the beast. It was so buoyant, or floating, that we could easily stand on it in the water. The monster was actually a giant mass of discarded fishing nets that had become hopelessly tangled together at sea. The huge ball of plastic was longer than a school bus and half as heavy. Unfortunately, abandoned nets like this are fairly common. The nets are lost, ripped, or thrown from fishing vessels, and these days they can be found drifting almost anywhere in the world ocean. Scientists call them ghost nets. Okay, this might be one of the negative impacts on that humans have on ocean life. Ghost nets, because they are lost, they're ripped, or they're thrown from fishing vessels. So that could be one of your ideas. Because of their eerie ability to continue the work they were designed for, that is, to catch fish, even when they are no longer attached to a fishing boat. As they drift with the currents, ghost nets silently devour everything in their path: fish, turtles, sharks, whales, seabirds, and even trash. When an animal gets tangled, explains Mary, it attracts other predators who feed on the remains and end up entangled themselves. As if drowning animals weren't bad enough, drifting ghost nets also crush and scrape coral reefs, ruining hundreds of years' worth of coral growth in the crash of a single wave. Mary has seen some of this damage firsthand. In some places, it looks as if a bulldozer has driven over the coral reef. She says, these ghost nets are really destructive. With the help of dozens of divers, a Coast Guard cutter, and a crane, scientists were eventually able to pull the monstrous ghost net out of the ocean. But surveys conducted by Mary and others found tons, more than 14 tons to be exact, of other ghost nets and net pieces littering the Hawaiian island environment. To protect the environment as well as the marine animals that live in it, Mary and her colleagues began a program to find, count, and remove ghost nets. Between 1999 and 2005, this group of dedicated scientists, divers, and ecologists removed 500 tons of net debris from the area, mostly by hand. Even with this success, however, Mary is realistic about humankind's status in the battle against ghost nets. The bottom line, she says, is that we're making a difference, but right now we're barely holding steady. 3,000 miles away, Colorado researcher Jim Churnside is working to tip the scales in favor of net removal. Like Mary, Jim is studying the ghost net problem, but from an entirely different angle. With the help of Alaskan pilot Tim Venstra, he is studying ghost nets from the sky. Tim and Jim believe that the one way to protect Hawaii's delicate habitat is to remove ghost nets from the Pacific Ocean long before they drift near the islands. But how do you find ghost nets the size of a school bus? And most are much smaller than this, in an ocean that is larger than all 7 continents combined. The job would be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Unless you know